Hi everyone, Paul Cardin of the Wirral Residents Association. Just a quick video, a very short one, about 5 minutes, just to summarise our visit yesterday to the solar exhibition at Irby Village Hall. I arrived about 3:30, just after the event had started, and there's a few people milling around at the start, 20 or so people. And I was looking for people with name badges on that I could go and talk to and ask questions about the solar complex that's planned for Thurstaston on Wirral. And the first person I spotted with a name badge on was called, and I later discovered that he was the CEO in the UK of the company. And I thought, right, I didn't realise that at the time, but I asked him a few questions, and one of them that's been bugging me for a while is obviously a deal will have been struck with somebody as yet unknown, the landowner, and we didn't know who the landowner was. We had an idea, but we weren't really sure. But I had it confirmed by me that it was people who live in Rose Cottage, which the solar complex itself is named after Rose Cottage, and the website is called rosecottage.co.uk or Rose Cottage Solar, something like that. But anyway, confirmed for me that yes, there is a deal with the owners of Rose Cottage, which is contingent upon a positive planning application being approved by the council. Once that's approved, then I assume a financial settlement will be reached.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Councillor Jenny Johnson from West Kirby and Thurstaston, and we've come along to the Chint Solar consultation event.
So first of all, we listened to what the people said from Chint and heard about them and their views about the consultation. And then obviously we've spoken to lots of residents tonight as well. I've been here personally since 2 o'clock, leaving now at 6, and we've heard of lots of views and concerns amongst our local residents.
So we all know how hard people have fought and for how long to protect our greenbelt. This is the first serious challenge, so we want to make sure that everybody is fully informed and that we're ready to challenge this when it comes to a planning application.
Yeah, it felt a little bit impertinent to be inquiring about those sort of details, but I was sort of glad to hear that. The other thing I asked him about that had been I was unsure about was inside the scoping report there was no mention made of battery energy storage systems, and I'd noticed that a few weeks ago, and I'd sort of suspected that they were trying to avoid public scrutiny by not mentioning them. But it was confirmed that they're not actually going to use battery energy storage systems on this site, or so they say. I spoke to a fellow a bit later on, and he confirmed that they won't be using them. So the importance of this is that they will not be able to store electricity either on site or locally in order to feed that electricity into the grid at times of peak demand, i.e. they store it for a few hours and then send it out later. So they won't be able to do that. The way it's going to be set up, according to, is that they will produce electricity 26 megawatts per day on average, and send it out via a 33 kilovolt cable onto the grid there and then, i.e. whatever they produce there and then is used there and then. So it won't be functioning in the same way that other solar complexes function or operate. They won't be able to store electricity. And there's me thinking, are they trying to hide battery energy storage systems? Because we all know there's a fire risk attached to them, there's an explosion risk, and there's a release of toxic fumes risk if these lithium-ion batteries catch fire and go into thermal runaway, i.e. when they go into thermal runaway, there's a huge blaze and they're very difficult to put out, as we know. There was one in Liverpool in 2020, and it was burning for 56 hours before the fire brigade could eventually put it out, i.e. they had to just wait for the thing to burn out. And anyway, back to the meeting. I was speaking to a chap, and there was a bit of an incident in that, having been told earlier that I could use my phone to take photos or record or to take videos, I decided to record the conversation, but I made the mistake of not telling him that I was going to record the conversation. And at the end of our conversation, he noticed that I'd clicked on my phone, and he then asked me had I recorded the conversation. So really, the whole thing was a misunderstanding, and subsequent to that, me and another lady whose name, I didn't see her name badge, I can't remember what it said, but the other lady who worked for the company decided that I needed to delete that audio from my phone, which I agreed to, and I deleted it. So the whole thing was a misunderstanding, really. Okay, I shouldn't have done it. I've since looked at the law, and the law, basically, to summarise it, states that if you're going to record somebody, you have to ask for their permission to do it. So you can't go recording them and then using it. I mean, it becomes unlawful when you start using that information